Hello wonderful people, it's Wild here. Today I'm going to show you how to build this spooky cute witch's hat house. This build can be done two ways, and I'll show you some ideas for how to decorate it. For this build, you'll need the materials on your screen now. Here is the outline for the witch's hat. The outer circle is for the brim of the hat, and the inner circle is for the main part of the house. Let's start the build by putting in the brim of the witch's hat as well as the floor. The main part of the brim will be made out of purple concrete with little splotches of purple wool in between. The brim is 3 deep, so we're going to the edge of the outline of the main part of the hat. When you're doing this, you don't have to worry about getting your purple wool splotches in the exact same point as mine. They're just there to add some texture and variation to the build, so you can make it unique to your hat. Here's how the purple should look from above. Now you can fill in the section where the hat is going to sit with some strip spruce logs. These make perfect floorboards. The best way to think about the house part of this hat is a series of rings getting smaller and going up to the point. So we'll start with the purple one, and we're using mainly purple concrete with a little bit of purple wool, and this just follows the outline of the floor like this. As we go up the hat, we'll use less and less purple concrete, and by the top we'll be using all purple wool. The next layers are the hat band. Start with 3 and then 3 in a diagonal and continue this around. 3, 3 in a diagonal, and so forth. The next layer of the hat, we'll place 1 and then 1 set back, like this, and then a little corner shape. And once again, we'll connect it up with 1 in the center, 1 set back, and a corner shape. Here's how the hat band should look. Coming on from this hat band, we're going to be using less purple concrete, but still just a little. And we're going to be working in panels for this part. So on each kind of flat part of the side, these faces here, build 2 high, 3 wide, and then 1 in the center. Then to fill in the corner, we just need to connect up like this. We build a little corner shape and then sideways corner shapes. And do this all the way around. When you're considering the randomizing of the purple concrete and purple wool, it helps to take a step back and decide if you like how it looks. I'm happy with this, but if you'd like to change anything, you can always go ahead and do that. For the next bit of the hat, we'll just be continuing up with purple wool. So build across 3, 2 high with 1 in the center, on each flat face of the hat. Fill in the corners 2 high. And then fill in the gap here by building backwards on the diagonal. And here's how that looks. And you can see from above that our circle is getting smaller. The final layer of the hat before we start curving over the tip is done much the same way with a 2 high through-eye panel with 1 in the middle. And then we'll just fill in the corners with a diagonal block. Now to create the characteristic curve. This is where you need to decide which is the front and back of your hat and which are the sides. This is the front of my hat. So on the front and back sides, create a little W shape like this. Then along one of the sides, come up and cover over the top of this W. And on the underside, place 2 blocks on the diagonal to fill in the hole like that. Then to continue downwards, just build another diagonal step like this. And that's the shape of the witch's hat done. Now we need to add some details as well as windows and doors to turn it into a house. I've used some lime concrete to mark in the locations of the windows and the door, but first let's add a big buckle and a window to the hat band. I'm using gold here, but if you're building this in survival, you could easily substitute this with yellow concrete. I've also set my hat band buckle slightly to the side. And to turn it into a window, replace the black wool here with some tinted glass. For each window, you need to break the wool behind where you want it, place a purple glass with a warp slab above and below it, then use trapdoors on either side. So I have one here on the front at the top, one on this side here, one on the back, and one more around the side. Along this side we will also have the door. So this door is on the kind of second grouping of blocks above the hat band. Now you need to put a floor in at this height. And place in your door. And then create a little staircase to get up to it. I'm using warp slabs here and I'm wrapping them around the shape of the hat, making sure that there is a slab step each time. Then add a railing with some warped trapdoors. These trapdoors can be pretty tricky to place. I've used other trapdoors to place my trapdoors upon, but of course you can place the scaffolding block. Now this witch's hat looks pretty fabulous, but here's some ideas you can try to change it up a bit and spruce up your build. I've put mine in a swamp surrounded by some decorations like this candy basket, as well as pumpkins and floating lanterns. I've added a path that winds all the way around to the back. To decorate my witch's hat, I've done the top story as a witch's enchanting room. I've filled it with bottles and enchanting goodies, as well as a bubbling, swirling cauldron. To create these bewitching decorations, check out the tutorial in the description. I've decorated the downstairs level as a living quarters. There's a little living room and I've used orange, turquoise and purple decorations. There's plenty of storage with these barrels. And since this room is quite tall, I've added a mezzanine floor. This makes a perfect sleeping quarters. And if you really want to change things up, try switching around the colours of the hat and the hat band, like this. Doesn't that look super witchy? This build really does look super. If you enjoyed creating it, come over to my Discord and share a picture of your build. I'd love to see it. And if you like my tutorials, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Happy Halloween!